So what do you got lined up for discussion this evening, Nice Strike? What's going on, brother?
We got 2 topics. We may get through them, we may not. We may go only half an hour. We may go an hour. It depends on what happens.
Did you see Honest Outlaw Reviews got his channel deleted today? His channel got hacked and somebody posted a bunch of stuff. Man, I set up 2-factor authentication after that. After watching that, I was like, yeah.
I did not see that.
Yeah, what happened was there was it's like a live Bitcoin podcast got pushed across on his channel. Somebody had hacked into his account. I don't know how or why. And he didn't even know about it until he got emails from his viewers. And then him and his wife worked to try to lock the person out that was messing with his account. And then I don't know if they had to take all the videos down or whatever. And then they uploaded a video. And then he got an email from YouTube saying his channel had been deleted for showing dangerous content or something. It's like, what? So I don't know, man.
Yep.
I mean, are you talking about the HR 828 today or whatever? Is that picking up some steam now, unfortunately?
I don't know. No.
TEPS or whatever they call it. Okay. No, I'm just saying it's relevant.
No. Apparently, Obama and Biden owe Mexico some answers about the Fast and Furious program.
I've also
We're covering that.
Where Obama has some splaining to do about the Michael Flynn case too.
Yeah, he's got some splaining to do. Also, apparently, we're going to talk about Virginia because apparently indoor ranges get reopened on Friday.
Ooh, there you go.
So that's what we're talking about tonight.
I need to check the Nebraska range and see when it's opening back up. I think they're set for May 22nd or something like that. So, yeah.
Well, we all know about my range. It's always open.
Well, yeah. This one's air conditioned though. It's really nice.
Well, eventually I'll get like some sort of barn or something back there with a window unit on it. I'll be fine.
There you go. That'd be awesome.
Pipe some internet to it, and you know what? I'll be good.
Shoot right out of it.
I could just move in there. I'll tell you. I have internet. I have air conditioning, and I have my guns. That's all.
Yeah, there you go. It's all a man needs. It's some lemonade.
Yeah. So
iced tea, baby. Come on. You gotta get some iced tea.
Sweet or bitter, I go either way.
In the South, there is no such thing as iced tea. There's only something called sweet tea.
Sweet tea. See, I go for both. I'm like a chameleon. I can do the sweet tea thing when I'm down south, or I can do the bitter black, instant Nestle stuff that we grew up on up here in Nebraska.
Yeah, I'm just not that big a fan of tea in general, but I'll drink sweet tea every now and then.
Dude, that Lipton Black.
I'm not a big fan of tea.
Oh my god, I love that stuff.
Give me a sweet tea with half and half with that with lemonade and colored and I'm happy.
That works.
Yo, brisk, babe.
Are you a tea drinker? Kingpin, you're muted.
Who?
Kingpin.
It took me a while to get in.
Yeah, it took me a while to jump in too.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah. Not much, man.
Hey.
Yeah, but yes, Kingpin is a tea drinker. He had raspberry tea with him at the DC rally.
Okay, good. So he does drink tea. There you go.
What about brisk? Anybody drink brisk?
Oh God, yeah.
No, absolutely not.
You remember?
No.
You remember those old commercials, the claymation brisk commercials?
Yeah, I was
That's
never
brisk, baby. It was like
Yo.
I was never a fan of the brisk, but when Lipton had the glass bottle teas, those were pretty good.
I only really liked this when Snapple started doing tea. That's the only tea I really like from Snapple.
Snapple, Nestea and Lipton were both doing the glass bottle teas before Snapple was. And I've been pissed off at Snapple. I'll still drink Snapple, but I've been pissed off at Snapple since 1994 when they discontinued the spearmint tea. That stuff was awesome.
Ooh, that sounds awesome, man.
It was, man. That was like my favorite flavor.
Dude. Hey, so real quick, Kingpin, do you set a challenge my way? A VR challenge? I haven't had a chance to watch your video yet. Rumor has it I'm being challenged to actually discover a slightly athletic side to myself.
Yeah, I called you out, and you, Sandy, and Josh Benware.
All right, I'll work on that. I'll get my push-ups on.
Yeah, if you want to know,
Nobody call me out. Nobody call me out. I haven't done a push-up in 20 years. So
You're next, Nice Rick.
That's
You're on the
not gonna
list.
that's not happening. It's not
You just
happening.
made the list. What is he doing?
I
Breakfast
haven't-
Club? You just made the
Man.
list. 2
You
months.
can,
2 months. I got
you can
you.
always come up with something else creative.
No,
you know.
I
If you
refuse.
can't do
I'm
a
not doing
push-up,
that
you can
one.
do something else.
okay. Travis, if you want to
Yo.
know what the Snapple spearmint tastes, get yourself a box of the Bigelow Plantation Mint, and it tastes
Yeah.
exactly like that.
Or I'll get some beech nut mint flavored chewing tobacco and just kind of wash that down with some tea. Just kind of sit there and just chaw on it, spit, and then take a sip of the tea. Yeah, that's good stuff. Hey, Kingpin, can I eat 22 push-ups instead? Would that push-up popsicles? Would that?
Yeah.
Okay, that works.
Absolutely.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
dude, I diabetic sugar shock after that, man.
I mean,
You seriously
I'm more
don't have.
coffee drinker
You
than
don't
I
have.
am.
I want to. I think it's awesome. I think it's cool. I did the ice bucket challenge. That sucked. God, that was fucking cold.
I'm not doing ice bucket challenges.
Whew, chilly, man. It was cold, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, they back when
Yeah.
that was going on, a bunch of kids at the school my kids went to, they were challenging each other. You'd have kids walking down the hall, next thing you know, they were getting a bucket of ice cold water dumped on them
Oh, dude.
right there in the school.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible, man. That's a slipping hazard. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
That was a small school.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
All
I don't
right,
think
so
you
I
would get a
guess-
whole school with that in a big city school, but the small school they went to, yeah, there was like 100 kids.
I
in
guess
the
it's
school.
time to
Let's do it.
start the show.
Do it.
Welcome all to Hit or Miss.
Do it
I'm your host,
right.
Night Strike.
Get to the chopper.
We've been live talking about the pre-chat today, but yeah, we got a few topics to talk about tonight. We got an interesting, lively panel this evening. So let's go through the room, introduce everyone, and then start the show. So first up, we've got everyone's lovable educational instructor, Mr. Travis P11.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Travis P11, Pisces. Just checking in. I want to say thank you for the invite, Night Strike. Cheap plug as usual. Check out my channel, Travis P11, over there on YouTube while I still have one. Otherwise, just make sure you check out everybody else's channel on the panel this evening and support GunTube.org. All right, man. Thanks, brother.
Yeah. Yep. Next up, we got Mr. 1% himself, Rich White. How's it going, Rich?
Hey, how's it going?
Quick, plug your channel.
We do that at the end. If I do it now, I don't got nothing to do at the end of the show.
Plug it
No,
again.
you do it both times.
Plug it
Be
twice.
shameless. Be
Plug it
shameless. You are you are encouraged to be shameless, like Travis.
What?
Go.
What? Wait, where did this come from? What?
I don't know.
I have a sense of guilt, okay? All right, go on.
All right. Well, okay, since they're holding a gun to my head here, folks.
Oh, Jesus.
Sunday night.
No, we're
between
not.
8 and 9
No, we
p.m.
are not.
Eastern, on the Unloaded Media channel, check out This Week Unloaded.
Just for the record, no one has threatened Rich in any way, shape, or form.
No, Kingpin
Yeah,
just wants me to buy everybody guns, apparently.
Just for the record,
Rich
Rich
is
is
just
buying a
being
bunch of people
melodramatic.
guns.
Oh, no, Kingpin on Sunday was telling everybody that I was sending them a free gun. And my wife's like,
It's
no, you're
official.
not.
Nice Strike. Ask a bunch of people out in the chat if Rich isn't supposed to buy a bunch of people guns. I guarantee a whole handful of them out there be like, yep, I was there.
Wait a minute, you mean he's not? I thought he was. What do you mean he's not?
Yeah,
I'm
see, we got one on. Are you calling Travis P11 a liar?
Mm-hmm.
I think the
You know what my
stipulation
wife
is if he won the lottery, because then his wife wouldn't care.
No. Kingpin was clearly told by my wife, and everybody, I think on the panel at least heard, where she said, oh, no, if Kingpin wants that done, he can do it himself.
So you
All
are
right,
calling
all right,
Travis P11 a liar.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kingpin, introduce yourself and plug your channel.
I'm Kingpin. I'm a Capricorn. I'm lazy, so I'm not taking any long walks, and I'm not a big fan of sand between my toes.
Okay, and you have a channel on YouTube, do you not?
Yeah. There's one of those things out there. You could check that out if you want.
Okay, good. All right, last but not least, we've got Duke Liberty, we got Ian. So what's going on, Ian?
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for the invite. Super excited to be on this great historic panel, as always. And looking forward to this evening. Super happy to be here. And, we're staying strong over here in the old Michigan. So thanks, man.
All right. So, all right. I don't know if anybody's noticed or heard or not, but apparently Obama and Biden owe Mexico some answers about this Fast and Furious gun running scandal they ran back. When was it? 2009, 10? It was at least 10 or so years ago. But this is from the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms. Today they said Mexico deserves answers about a bloody Obama-Biden administration gun-running scandal called Operation Fast and Furious, adding that after 10 years, the American public also has a right to know the truth. Fast and Furious was a scandal of monumental proportions, Alan Gottlieb said. The Obama-Biden administration at first feigned ignorance, then withheld thousands of subpoena documents from the House Oversight Committee, claiming executive privilege until a federal court ordered them to be turned over to investigations. One ATF agent told the committee that Fast and Furious was the perfect storm of idiocy. We can certainly sympathize with the Mexican president Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. I guess that's what
Obrador.
I'm not good at. Yeah. He continued, under Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and former Attorney General Eric Holder. Yeah, I remember that guy. Do not like him. The Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Everybody leaves out explosives, but it's actually the ATFE, not just the ATF.
The ATFE.
no, you forgot the B in front. Because remember, it's Bureau.
The B stands for Bureau.
Yes, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives.
No, it's BATFE then.
Uh-huh.
So it's BATFE. So, anyways, and allowed more than 2,000 firearms to get into criminal hands in Mexico. Many people have been killed, including Border Patrol agent Brian Terry. Mexico and every U.S. citizen deserves not only an apology, but Holder and several other former Obama-Biden administration officials should have been criminally prosecuted, he stated. Bad actors should be punished, not law-abiding American gun owners, as Joe Biden has proposed with his gun control agenda if elected president. Incredibly, Gottlieb added, the Obama-Biden administration used this fiasco as an excuse to implement new requirements for firearms dealers in the Southwest as if they were to blame for what happened. G-Web's played a video audio of a guy being interviewed, one of the FFL guys being interviewed at one point because he had signed up to be part of this program, because the ATF came to him, and then they were going to use that to take him down and send him to jail. And he recorded everything and took all that to court so he wouldn't get in trouble. But I remember that. He also wrote a book about that too.
When this was first breaking, there were FFLs that were coming forward in southern Arizona and southern New Mexico, where they were talking about how the federal government threatened to take away their FFL licenses if they didn't cooperate with them. That was one of the things that Glenn Beck talked about when he was on Fox.
Exactly.
So I'm to understand that what we're talking about is the Mexican government's being critical of the Obama administration. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so then then that solves everything. The case is closed. We know what that means. Mexico's racist.
Ooh. Anyways, Holder became the first U.S. Attorney General to be held in criminal and civil contempt of Congress. Any apology should come from those responsible, Gottlieb observed. That would be Obama, Biden, Holder, and the ATF and Justice Department officials who cut up this outrageous scheme. It's been over 10 years since Fast and Furious was exposed. That's long enough to wait for answers. We can't allow this scandal to be swept under a rug any longer. Unfortunately, if Joe Biden becomes the next president with his selective memory, he'll deliberately forget his travesty and the behavior it spawned. Who says he hasn't forgotten it already? You know, his brain don't work as well as everyone else's.
Who said he ever knew?
And what does Travis T have anything to do with this?
Yeah, why does the Travi have to be involved in such a negative connotation? You know.
Stop trying to do cover-ups. We all know the Travi Collective is involved in everything.
Now, rumors and lies created by the competition.
Well, there is no definitive proof that an actual Travi member was part of Fast and Furious. We have no proof.
No, I didn't even own an AR back then.
Travis T. I didn't say it. You said Travis T, not me.
Members of Congress, I did not own my first AR until after Operation Fast and Furious had begun.
That's because you were selling them. You were selling them south of the border. That's why.
No, we were giving them away. Wait, what?
Oh, okay. Okay, never mind then. No crime.
Oh man, it's just. So I mean, where are they going to go with this? So what are they really going to do with this information? You really think anything's going to come out of this? I mean, all Obama's going to do is deny it. God.
Yeah, I think nothing's going to happen from it. It's just going to be one big, cover up again, and move on. Oh, well.
I mean, this isn't even going to make national news, dude. I mean, it never really did.
It will. It will, but it'll make in a negative light. This is the Republicans or Trump party or whoever trying to fight against the Democrats or the liberals or whatever. So it's just like their new stimulus bill the Democrats want to put out there is just to get votes, honestly.
Yeah.
CNN will dutifully report that Mexico is racist.
You're not Heavy B's racist for not supporting the new stimulus bill.
Well, Heavy B is a ginger, so.
Yeah, I can't be racist. I have minority status. Actually, probably one of the smallest minorities on the planet, to be honest, as a ginger. So, as a minority, I can say whatever the fuck I want. Pardon my language if this is a family-friendly show.
This is a family-friendly show.
Okay, so no F-bomb.
They'll just claim that they're going to claim that you have extreme white privilege because you're a ginger and you're so damn white you glow.
Well, see, I'm not just a ginger, I'm a brown-eyed ginger, which makes me even more rare. So I am literally the most minor group on the planet.
And I'd argue least important.
Okay, so E Honda showed up now.
Wow.
Man, we got the whole star-studded panel here, man. This is great.
Did you get bored of playing Modern Warfare with Matt?
Nah, I took a pizza break. Figured I'd hang out with you guys for a minute.
Best kind of break there is.
Cold pizza break, baby.
Nah, it's like burn your tongue pizza break. It just came out of the oven.
Like a hot pocket.
There you go.
Burn the crap out of the roof of your mouth. You never come back from that.
There's only two kinds of pizza, hot and cold.
I mean, it does make you understand how the planet's crust can be all like nice and temperate, and we can live there. But then you drill down a couple of miles, and it would like fry you to death.
Mm-hmm.
It does the same thing. Like, oh, it's fine on the top, and then you bite into it, and
What's weird?
Pizza on the
What's
inside.
weird is you drill down a couple of miles, you fry to death, right? But you only have to dig down a few feet, like 10 or 20 feet, and you'll be cool. Go figure that out. You're closer to the heat source, yet you're cooler than being on the surface.
You're surrounded by insulation.
Yep. All right, so the next topic we got is apparently the Virginia governor, Northam, has relented and is allowing indoor ranges to reopen on Friday. Virginia Governor Ralph Coonman Northam saw his dictatorial control crumble in recent days after a court ruling allowed one of the state's indoor ranges to reopen. Realizing additional court challenges would probably not go well for him, he has issued a new order allowing indoor ranges to be open on Friday, May 15th. Northam had originally closed indoor ranges in the state, classifying them as entertainment, despite federal court's ruling that practicing with guns is a fundamentally protected Second Amendment right. Initially, Lynchburg Range and Training sued and won an injunction blocking the governor's closure order. The Washington Free Beacon covered the Lynchburg Range and Training ruling order. Judge F. Patrick Yates of the 24th Judicial Circuit Court of Virginia, 24th Judicial Circuit of Virginia, ruled in favor of a Lynchburg firing range that challenged Northam's statewide shutdown order. He said the governor's emergency powers are limited under Virginia law and cannot restrict the otherwise lawful possession, carrying, transportation, sale, or transfer of firearms. The governor appears to argue that when he declares a state of emergency, he can ignore any law that limits his power, even laws designed to limit his power during a state of emergency, Yates wrote. The court cannot agree with such an expansive interpretation of the governor's authority. Yates limited the scope of his ruling even as he granted a temporary injunction barring the state from closing Lynchburg Range and Training LLC. This decision does not apply to all ranges in the state, but gun rights groups that helped file the suit said it lays the groundwork for eventually overturning the statewide ban. Philip Van Cleve, president of the Virginia Citizens Defense League, said it could have a domino effect as other gun ranges file suit.
Yeah, it sets precedents in the state, and if all of this happens, the governor just neutered himself. And, well, he's probably not going to be in office after November anyway, but, because 95% of the state was just like, hey, F you on this whole gunpocalypse thing, so...
Well, we're hoping, but,
You're assuming he had nuts to begin with.
Yeah.
And how could you go up against a judge with the last name of Yeats? I mean, seriously, man, he's got his own gun named after him. Telling you.
Yeah.
Yeats.
So we're almost done. We got a few more paragraphs. So let me go through the rest of it. The Citizens Defense League says we're weighing our options because our ultimate goal is that we want all indoor ranges free of this. Then Cleve said, what the judge laid out was great reasoning. Why really none of the ranges should be falling under this? Of course, while Governor Northam might hate gun rights for the little people in his state, he isn't stupid. He knew other courts would likely rule similarly for other ranges, and eventually all indoor ranges in the state, potentially threatening his other lockdown orders. So Northam opted to cut his losses. Again, they're citing another article from the Washington Free Beacon. Northam released an executive order on Friday that allow indoor ranges to operate starting May 15th, so long as they follow strict guidelines. Ranges that reopen must operate at half capacity, requiring face coverings for employees, and adopt enhanced disinfecting for commonly used services and rental equipment. Ranges that flout the rules could face misdemeanor charges. Okay, the announcement came after a state court ruled that Northam lacked the authority to shutter an indoor gun range in Lynchburg. Second Amendment activists said the decision set stage for potentially unraveling the Democrats' emergency powers. Philip Van Cleve, president of the Virginia Citizens Defense League, which filed the suit against the range shutdowns, said the case demonstrated Northam's flawed handling of the crisis, including his classification of the facilities as entertainment venues. We consider both the reclassification of indoor shooting ranges to no longer be entertainment, and the reopening this Friday to be a victory, he told the Washington Free Beacon. They should have been classified as essential from the beginning. They should have. They should have, because it's a constitutional right, not a state right, not. Well, I think it's a constitutional right.
I think him opting out after the fact is just too late. And since we can't say got his nuts cut off, we'll say, had a chastity belt placed upon him in that sense. That way I cover all genders.
I would turn in his man card. There you go.
Can I make it a contrarian argument real quick?
Well, hold on. Let me finish the article, and then we can discuss it and go all over. All right.
I'm sorry.
Even with Northam's restrictions, 50% capacity, and rigorous cleaning after each customer, this marks a big win against Emperor Ralph's continued attempts to thwart the right to keep and bear arms in the Old Dominion. And that's what Virginia's called, the Old Dominion. All right, so go nuts. Let's discuss this, okay? Who has a comment?
I have a contrarian goddamn argument.
Go for it.
All right, so
Honda, you first.
So, right to bear arms includes the right to carry, the right to use for self-defense, the right to tyrannical government, all that stuff. It does not include the right to be able to go to an indoor shooting range and use it. That being said, the government doesn't really have the right to go in and say that a business can shut down anyway. It should be up to the business to say what we're going to do and not do in light of a pandemic or whatever, right? So, therefore, one argument's invalid because it really has nothing to do with the right to bear arms, so per se. But the other argument's invalid also because that's still overreaching the power of government.
The problem
I can
is
see where you're coming from, but I disagree, but I can see where you're coming from.
These bills get passed that give these governors executive powers during stuff like this. That's the problem. So we don't pay attention to the bills that they passed.
Yeah,
well, we're too complacent anyway, as a country, we just kind of, it's like what we do with the NRA, right? We pay our $20 fee or whatever, and every year you get your little pamphlet that says, give us more money, and you send it in. And you feel like you did something because you participated. You go to vote. You voted for your guy. Whatever he does, good or bad, I voted. I participated. I can wash my hands of it. No one takes personal responsibility for our rights, and no one takes personal responsibility for the decisions that our government makes on our behalf.
I would agree with you to a point, but I'm starting to see more and more activism on our side beginning to occur. So there's a possibility people are starting to get fed up with these draconian executive orders being placed by governors and state and local and laws, issued by state and local agencies. So it's a possibility. I mean, there are some places, obviously, that are going to go the other way, like California, New York, Massachusetts, things like that. But I am starting to see more and more people going out to say, "Hey, no, we're not going to take this anymore."
And
actually,
Hitler saw
starting to see it, and it doesn't even. But that doesn't have to pertain to gun rights. It just happens to pertain to civil liberties altogether. Even the Californians are getting kind of pissed off.
Dude,
there's a lot of liberals out in California.
Dude, well, Hitler freaking saw that jet planes were a good thing to use and started implementing them, but it was a little late when he did that. Didn't really help, you know what I mean? Hopefully you're right, and hopefully my analogy's wrong, but I feel like it might be too late.
Too. Is it though? I mean, they are trying harder and harder to try and take more, but they're not able. They haven't been able to do so yet. So as long as we keep telling them no, we should be, we need to start gaining more ground. But at least right now, I'm seeing more of a resistance to stop the more infringement upon our rights. Those are the words I was looking for.
Well, I feel like someone put the brakes on the train, but the train's still barreling down the tracks, and we should have stopped at that stop a couple miles back. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I got you.
Probably. Probably, but Honda, because you brought it up as you did, your sanity is being questioned out there on the YouTube.
And I don't really care what some YouTube Scott P79 guy has to say about my sanity. I mean, show some evidence for that, and then maybe I'll have a discussion with you. But making a blanket statement without any evidence is not really. I can just ignore it. So there we go.
Oh yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make you aware.
I was aware.
Yeah, you just wanted to throw Scott P under the bus. That's cool. You know,
Well, he wanted to do it to me first, so I'll call him out too.
No, I was talking to Night Strike, not you. But also, E, just to throw this out there, as long as we are alive, we are still able to resist. So, I mean, if they do end up passing bills like they did in '93, we can still fight. There are still legal avenues that we can do to get things taken care of. So,
yeah, as long as the Supreme Court isn't stacked against us like it always is.
yeah, that's just a matter of politics.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, how many of those 10 different gun rights things that came before the court when they were deciding what cases they were going to take and which ones they weren't? How many of those were they excited about taking?
None.
I actually don't see, that's one thing I think if a case has been brought up to the Supreme Court and it's gotten to the Supreme Court, they should have to go over it.
I agree.
But
that's
that could
not the
be
way it
good.
works because it's not.
That could be good or bad though, because if we push it on them, then they can go the opposite way. So count your blessings where they come. You know what I'm saying?
It just sucks how much money you have to have in order to have your case heard before the Supreme Court, because you have to go through all the appellate courts and move up through the courts and continue to pay lawyers and take time off of work, and you know what I mean? You just got to be backed by someone with money or have a lot of money to even think about going to a Supreme Court case.
Well, that's why there are these gun rights organizations, excluding the NRA, because they're not really working for us. They may be a little bit now, but it's only because they're losing membership. A bucket with a hole is losing water. But FPC, Gun Owners America, your local state agencies like us, AZCDL out here, that's what they're for. They raise the money from their membership to be able to continue to fight these battles.
Right.
And we need to empower our local agencies because if you notice, as Matt said many a time, they are coming stronger at a state level. Well, now they're coming at us from both the state and the federal. So we need to figure a way to fix this problem. But it's going to take time. It's going to take time.
That's my local one.
Is that
the
Colorado
Rocky Mountain Gun Organization?
Okay, there you go.
Basically, what they do is give money to exactly those. They're fighting the red flag laws in Colorado currently. They're trying to challenge them in local courts and get them thrown out. But that's unfortunately a very uphill battle, and it seems like that's the true virus that's really spreading throughout the nation.
It does, doesn't it? So, all right. So, here's a question: what's going on in your neck of the woods? How are things going with the whole pandemic? Are you guys opening up now, or is people getting back to work in your area? What's going on?
Well, in Nebraska, we are. I think it depends on the city, but I believe restaurants are now or soon. They're opening up back on their own, but they're doing a 50% capacity thing. A lot of your little cafes and stuff in some of the stores. I mean, I don't go there, but I noticed that the Starbucks opened back up in Target, stuff like that. Little things like that are starting to pop up. Bars and restaurants are starting to open back up at 50% capacity. It's funny though. You go out and it seems like about maybe 3/4 of the people out in public have a mask on. And then what's left of the other quarter either don't or they're wearing it with their nose exposed, which is basically pointless. I see that with a lot of workers and stuff in businesses. And I'm almost thinking, what's the point at this point? I mean, when everybody could possibly be a carrier anyway. But in Nebraska, we're such a sparse population. Other than a few of our cities that have the high population of the meatpacking industry cities, they're the ones that are really getting hit hard right now. Where you're starting to see 30% infection rates in the town. But again, where everybody can be a carrier, that doesn't surprise me that it happens, especially when you got a third of the population of the town working in close quarters. So, yeah, that's the only bad thing because the people that I was talking to my dad is a meatpacking plant employee, and he's had a couple friends die. Not old, one was 50, one was 60, one guy was in his 20s, one guy was in his 30s. So, nobody's going to necessarily cannot be affected by it, but it just, and then those kinds of towns are really the ones that are taking the hit in Nebraska. But it seems like some of the other towns are okay right now. You don't have like major outbreaks or anything like that. So, I mean, what do you do? Do you save the economy or do you keep people sitting at home? That's I think they're just trying to transition back in so you can manage the number of people that are going to get sick. That's all you can do, really.
Yeah, they're going back to work here in South Carolina. They've opened all the restaurants up to half capacity and whatnot. For a while, they were saying, takeout, and they were allowing outside seating as long as there was enough social distancing space between the tables. Outside seating was okay if you could do outside seating, but now they're opening the restaurants back up to half capacity. And, they still want everyone to follow social distancing. And I'm like, okay, fine. I can deal with that. But, it's just ridiculous that, we have to continue doing all that. It's just ridiculous. But again, hey, I don't want to catch anything. I don't want anybody to catch anything if they shouldn't. But
it's getting real wild out here in Michigan. We've got a barber in Owasso, Michigan, that has decided to open back up.
I heard he's getting in trouble.
The governor's order. Well, some judge ruled in his favor yesterday. The Michigan militia showed up. They've been protecting his business. A bunch of armed dudes with flags have showed up. I am a little concerned. I think the governor is really wanting to make a name for herself, and I don't know what she's going to do. But no, we are on lockdown still. There's talk about even furthering it on well into June. I'm real concerned about Michigan, man. I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah, they're talking the same thing here in Denver too, man. Like I was just reading an article because we were supposed to open up May 11th yesterday, right? But Hancock, the mayor of Denver, said, restaurants are still going to have to stay shut down longer. And when they open, they're going to have to be drastically, quote unquote, drastically reduced capacity, and like standards will have to be increased for like cleaning and stuff like that. So when we do go back to work, it's going to be like, okay, we did have 100 employees. Now we have 25 kind of thing,
Okay.
So meaning 75 people aren't going to get their job back for the next 3 months still.
All right. Well, I want to mention South Carolina again because the governor it says that salons, gyms, and public pools across South Carolina are to reopen on May 18th. So that's, I guess, Friday this week, right? Or no, Monday next.
Yeah, I was going to say 6 days. Yeah.
Yeah,
next
Monday
Monday
next week. So people need to get their haircut. They can get one Monday. I mean, I've just been trimming my beard and just I've gone out and got one of those wall buzz
clippers.
Clippers and just use those. I mean, if you need something different done with your hair, it sucks right now because you can't get a haircut.
Yeah, like
you can't get any style.
I was thinking about getting a freaking set of clippers too, just to shave my head, and then I thought I'd look too much like a Jaeger follower, so I decided not to.
I thought about
like Travis be living in the wintertime.
I thought about buying some clippers and shaving the sides of my head and just rocking the mullet, dude.
Do it.
I've already got the mullet in the back. It's been so long since I've had a haircut. If I trim the sides, I'll be soul mullet.
I hate to say this, but I think you've got more street cred than Jaeger does because you're a Marine. He's not.
I'm not worried about street cred or anything like that. I seriously just don't want to go around. Like, I'm balding as it is because I'm older. And freaking.
You said it, not me.
Eventually, I'm going to end up having to shave my head, but walking around right now, I feel as, I'm heavy being a fat guy.
You look like Angry's dad.
A fat, bald guy with a beard. A fat, bald guy with a big old bushy beard. Probably not the best image. in business. So,
Dude, we talk about they're selling all kinds of handmade soaps and coffee and expensive furniture items right now. Just grow out like a handlebar mustache, man. You'll totally be in style.
Whoa,
no way.
whoa.
I couldn't do that.
It's real
Get
wild.
some skinny jeans going on there.
Shave the sides, send the mullet.
Yeah,
I just cut down the front a little bit because it's getting too long, right? And then just shave this area. But then, full mullet.
If it was more, if it was longer on the right side, it would be emo.
Look, all I'm saying is,
there you go. There you go.
A proper
There you go.
would be business in the front, party in the back. Right?
Oh my God.
So you gotta go with the high and tight up front. You know.
There you go.
The seat stripes and
Almost.
the back.
Almost.
Dude looks exactly like a buddy of mine from high school, man.
Yeah, I still look like I'm in high school, kind of. It's weird.
Yeah, do the mullet, then you have
Like
to start
40 years old.
Right. So, Heavy, what's going on in Arizona? What's going on in my home state?
We opened up Monday for businesses. They're doing half capacity, but most of the places they've been open anyway, but for takeout only. But everything's opening back up, slowly. It hasn't been that. It's been stupid, but it hasn't been that stupid out here. And then, of course, you got all the idiots. I mean, people walking around with masks and gloves on. And it's I honestly. All I'm going to say is, people,
I'm not gonna.
if you're going to do that, at least go online and look up cross-contamination, all right?
Mhm.
All I got to say.
Well, no, I'm going to say if you're going to wear gloves and masks, face masks like that, make sure you change them out every time you go out, because otherwise you're not helping yourself or anyone. Because they're some of that stuff is literally one-time use, not you can use it however long you want.
No, again, you need. I would recommend that you and everybody else out there wearing gloves and a mask to go out there and just read up on cross-contamination and realize that what you're doing isn't as effective as you think it is. It's more of a placebo effect.
What if everyone in America just went out and hugged 100 people, right? Like shook hands, no mask, gave everyone hugs, despite what the government said, and then like 2 weeks later we just all go back to work.
Yeah, right now they call everybody a racist for doing that.
Yeah.
They call everybody
Kingpin, you there?
murderers.
Yep.
Are you still there?
Yes, sir.
So what's going on in your state?
Governor Hogan is a tyrant, and all this is nonsense, and it needs to come to a stop immediately. And we're in serious damage once we actually start to feel the effects of what the government has done to us.
Okay, so things are pretty bad over there.
I agree with you.
Duke, do you mention how Michigan's doing right now?
Yeah, man, I talked about the governor being crazy, old boy with the haircut place trying to stay open. I'm just, man, I don't know about you guys, but I'm super worried about the economic impact. Like, is this going to put us in a depression?
Yep.
I mean, like one we've never even thought of.
We're in a depression right now, and the first domino hasn't fallen yet. When the dominoes start to fall, we are going to realize that this was a colossal disaster.
I think people are just going to go nuts and buy and spend all the stuff they couldn't do for the last 2 or 3 months. They're going to plan vacations. They're going to go out and buy stuff. They're going to go take their kids. I mean, I think it's going to be, I don't know. I just think that when you restrict people this long, they're going to look for excuses to go spend their money and do things and buy stuff. I mean, it's not going to make up for the millions of people that have lost their jobs and the money that's not being put out in the economy. But I just think if you just let people go and just say, okay, everything's open 100%, people would just go ape. They would just go buy everything. I mean, I'm serious.
Okay, so you're hopeful then. You're hopeful for.
Yeah, I think that people are going to take their vacations because they realize, man, look, there's going to be some people that have that attitude, like, this is out there. We could have died from it. Let's enjoy life now while we can. Or, there's all those people that didn't get to have their weddings, that didn't get to take their trips. All those people lost all their money on their airplane tickets. I mean, I just think people are just going to go nuts, and I mean, in a good kind of way, and just go spending crazy, especially once school gets out, man. I mean, it's going to be fair game. I mean, I really think people are going to go do all that stuff.
I just found this. This is from May 4th, so like a week ago. little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado man planning armed protest against state's coronavirus restrictions arrested for pipe bombs.
Oh shit!
Way to go, Colorado! You freaking God, dude.
30 million people are out of work, roughly.
Oh,
And if you just if you just take a safe guesstimation and say that half of those people aren't going to get their jobs back, it's 15 million people out of work. That 15 million is well above anything that we can really sustain and not consider a depression. That's if half the people get their jobs back. That's being generous.
Yeah, a lot of people don't want their jobs back. They just think they're going to go on collecting us unemployment.
well, here's the shitty thing. Just to be honest, I'm a recruiter, and I've been hiring through this whole pandemic, and I have some decent paying jobs, and I've had people straight up like they've applied for the job in the past or recently, and I'll make them a job offer, and they're like, "Are you serious? Why would I come to work when I can make more money at home?" And I think there's an issue with that, man. I mean, I get helping people, but man, we're creating an issue here.
That's just one of the social dominoes that hasn't fallen yet. The people who aren't going to go back to work because they're getting paid more on unemployment. The people who are afraid to go back to work because we've been told that every human being on the planet is going to die 3 times, that this thing is so disgusting. You know, there's so many issues that haven't even started to have effect yet.
And keep this in mind: the Democrats want to extend the unemployment bonus, quote unquote bonus, until January.
January.
Yeah.
That means that the Democrats want to pay people in some areas up anywhere between $1,200 to $1,700 a week to not work.
Just to push them through to election time, huh?
It's town in San Diego, a town in San Antonio, I think it was. It might not, but somewhere in Texas, made it illegal to say coronavirus or Wu flu or something like that. So we've allowed these small, little, tiny governments to censor us completely. You know, they're talking about bringing stupid baseball back. They won't let people go to church or get their hair cut, but they're considering bringing baseball back. Now, why is that? So us dummies will sit behind the idiot box and watch the baseball. Sport ball. Nothing's more important than sport ball. That's a distraction. They're trying to lull us back to sleep.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a good call, man.
And it is super scary to think that they're gonna. Well, they want to extend it to January through the election. Oh.
Well, that's not it. They're also looking to put out the next stimulus package was. I think they're talking about up to $2,000 a month for 6 months
per person,
everybody
right?
who meets the criteria. I think per person. Well, it's per person or per tax filing household.
The bill that was proposed today,
and I believe the cap is 90,000 rather than 100,000.
Yeah, the bill that was released today, I was reading about it earlier. It's $1,200. It's not just $1,200 per adult. It's now going to be $1,200 per individual in your household, whether they filed a tax return, whether they're eligible to be claimed as a child dependent or not. So if you
illegal immigrants also, don't forget all the illegal immigrant money.
Up to $6,000 per family.
Holy crap. Per month?
Good Lord.
Dude, that holy
or per month. I didn't catch that part, but yeah, it's crazy. I mean, $6,000 even as a one-time payment's all crazy. Yeah.
Well, again, this is being brought to you by Trump's opponents, and they're doing this because they know Trump and the GOP have already said, no, we're going to shut that down. It's not going to happen. So they're doing this to go, hey, look, we tried to give you guys money to help, but the evil Trump monster over there is saying no. So, I mean, it's all a ploy. It's not going to be something that goes through. I don't think, and I hope not, because, I mean, this last stimulus cost us, what, $3.1 trillion?
Yeah.
So,
the one that they got proposed in the House right now is going to be at least $3 trillion. more on top of that.
Oh boy.
The only way
Alright.
the only way I see it going through, the only way I see it going through is because of the fact it's going to be kind of like the stimulus, the Trump stimulus, as I'm going to call it, is that it is a loan based on future tax returns. Which means if people sign up for this, they're going for instant gratification and they're going to suffer in the long term, which is probably normal for Americans. So,
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know on this. I don't think any more stimulus is a good idea, but at the same time, I understand that people are hurting, myself included. So, who knows? All right. So, does anybody else have a topic they want to talk about, or do you guys want to just call it and go on about our way?
what about guns? Do we want to talk about firearms or just politics?
I don't know.
Maryland opens
I don't
their
know.
ranges on Wednesday. That's
Ooh.
good news.
South Carolina ranges are open already.
Ours never closed.
Yeah, I said Maryland. Everybody heard me clearly
Yeah, I
say
know, we're just
Maryland. I
picking
didn't
on
say
you.
West Virginia or South Carolina. I said Maryland.
We're just picking on you for living in Maryland.
No, I was
Jerks.
picking. I was just letting everyone know that they're open now. So if they need to go to the range, they can go to the range.
Ours
Yeah,
has
all I
remained
heard was
open.
nanny boo boo. I live in a better state than you do.
I never said that.
As a former Californian, I understand your pain, but I moved to freedom. So, I mean,
Yeah. How many years were you fighting that, Heavy B?
since I was able to buy a gun out in California, so over 20, closer to 30 when I moved out. So it was like I finally got away from the evil monster. Hopefully, but the disease seems to be spreading this way. We need to stop that.
Now, I recognize not everyone can leave their state because of factors,
Families, financial
family, jobs, that kind of thing. I understand that, but you were looking for a place to go other than California, anyways, so it worked out for you.
Yes, of course. That was one of the factors I chose when I found a place to move. So,
right.
Our ranges are open, and they're doing the thing to where it's like every other bench, instead of for the outdoor ranges. I haven't been to an indoor range; they've been open too. I just haven't been to one. I prefer shooting outdoors anyway. But like even the land, the open desert that's normally controlled by Arizona's version of BLM or whatever, has remained open. So it's nice to be able to go, but it's finding the ammo that's kind of a pain in the butt. Although it's starting to come back in stock, so.
So, Heavy.
Yeah.
Have you been to the Cabela's in Mesa?
The one off the 202?
Yeah, or not Cabela's. It might be Bass Pro.
Yeah, Bass Pro. I think it's Bass Pro off to the northern part of the 202. Yeah, I've been there once or twice.
It's the one on Dobson.
Yeah, it's a Bass Pro like any other Bass Pro. I mean, it has obviously like different firearms California would have, but it's nice.
When I was in there, that was my first time actually going to a Bass Pro / Cabela's because I've never been in one. So when I was out there, when you weren't, I went and visited and saw it. Don't they have a range in that one?
I actually think they do. I think most Bass Pros do. I have not been in it. I've been to a couple of newer indoor ranges out here. Actually, it's two of the same chain, really. Actually, I've been to 3 or 4 indoor ranges out here, but I have never been
Yeah,
to
no,
either.
that one has a range. So,
But
yeah, it was really nice. I mean, you know, I know I go on and on about PSA, but compared to like the Bass Pro Shop in Mesa, PSA is basically one level and has a range, but doesn't have all that extra stuff that Bass Pro did.
well, that's because PSA isn't geared like Bass Pro. Bass Pro is like a total outdoor place for
Superstore.
Yeah, it's like a superstore kind of for outdoor equipment and stuff. Whereas PSA is more related to firearms. So
no, hold on. The one in Somerville, they do hunting equipment, they do fishing equipment, they do firearms, they do range, and any sort of clothing and whatnot you need, like all your 511 tactical stuff. They've got it. That's what they do. Okay. So.
well, cool. I guess
again,
I'm gonna have to go out there and visit it.
But again, you know, it's not as big as like the Bass Pro in Mesa. That place is huge.
Yeah, it's pretty good size. I'm not gonna take that away from it. Is your cousin still working over at PSA?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a few weeks. I'll probably hit him up and ask him if he's still working, because they did open the PSAs a while ago, and I assume he's working again. I don't know. Maybe he's not. Maybe I'll let him. I'll call him and ask him.
Cool.
But,
That'd be interesting.
he should be.
Well,
But the
I
one
think
he's
it'd be
at
cool.
is half the size of the one I normally go to. I only go down to the one where he works at if I want to see and hang out with him for a little bit, because family and whatnot.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I want to go bug him.
Yeah, well, it'd be nice to know if he's still at his job. He's one of us. So, but my question earlier on firearms, actually, since we're bringing up PSA, is does anybody out there have a 9mm PCC pistol, AR style pistol? And if so, what brand do you have, and what do you think of it?
I'm building one.
I'm looking to do that too, but I'm also looking at a few other brands that when I look at the cost to build or the cost to buy, it's kind of a toss-up. I'll probably end up building one anyway. I can't get anything without messing with it some, so.
Basically what I did is I got one of the lowers I got, and I just got the conversion kit for the magwell adapter. I got that, and I've got everything else on that lower, and I'm just gonna buy one of those Colt Commando style uppers and slap that on there and call it done. Because then it uses a Colt SMG mags instead of Glock mags. Because I know people love their Glocks. Love your Glocks all you want. I'm not saying Glocks are bad. I just don't want to see a Glock magazine in an AR. Okay, it's just my personal thing about the whole thing. I don't like seeing Glock mags in ARs. It's just my pet peeve.
Cool. Free country, do what you want. It's all good.
Everybody can be wrong. It's okay.
But yeah,
It says a resident Glock card.
Well, I'm not getting a Glock card, but I have 2.5 Glocks now. I've got my G48, my G23, and then I have my 19L build that I did. So it's not really a Glock because none of it is really Glock parts. But
you could get Magpul magazines if you want that are Glock compatible, that are made in the USA, that are 9mm, that'll work in your Glock compatible AR9.
Well,
good.
If you want to be, if you want to push like American Industry or whatever, you can go that route. And they're only $15 a piece.
Well, hold on a second. You got to remember, Glock has factories here in the United States too, so still USA built.
Yeah. Did you see
I don't know if it's all. The parts are probably sent in from Austria, but unless they've started manufacturing completely here now, which they probably have years ago, and I just don't know. But so nobody in here has a AR9 type.
No,
I ordered an AKV on Saturday, but I don't have an AR9 yet.
and there's a.
You got an AKV?
I got one coming. It's gonna be here in about a week or two. Yeah, I ordered one on Saturday morning. Foos made me do it.
Yeah,
Well, no, I mean I bought
Foos
magazines
is
for
bad
one like a
influence.
month ago, and then I felt obligated to buy one, so I went ahead and bought one.
Is that kind of like you get, somebody gives you a box of ammo to a
Yeah.
gun you don't have, and you're like, well, now I got to buy the gun.
Well, I put a poll up on my channel, seeing what people want me to buy for my next gun. I put 3 choices up, and that there was that, or a Henry 3030 with a color case hardened finish, or a Streebog 9mm, because I know Never Enough Ammo's got one of those. And it was tied on Friday between the Henry and the AKV. What's that, Kingpin?
Didn't you buy a gun on Monday too?
No, it was Saturday morning when I bought the AKV because it came up. I got a thing at 8 a.m. that it was in stock, so I went ahead and bought it.
All right,
I was thinking of Avid Waterfowler. He kept saying that he was going to buy a gun. But never mind, I mixed up.
Okay.
Sorry.
I do have like an AR pistol lower coming in the mail too that I ordered a week before that. But PSA's, they're a little behind on their shipping their guns right now, so it's
What caliber is the
so
AR
Trevor-
pistol lower?
multi, but I mean it's I'll be using it with 300 Blackout,
Oh, okay, cool.
and I've got the
All
two
right, so
7.62x39s. But yeah, sorry man, sorry. I like talking guns.
No, that's cool. But you said you had to head out
Yes.
early, and we're down to the wire, man.
Yeah, man. Guys, make sure you check out everybody on the channel here. Make sure you guys support GunTube.org, and otherwise, I think we're good. So make sure you guys head on over to Kingpin's channel and check out his most recent video. He's got a good post that he put up over there. I want you guys to check that out. Otherwise, I am out. Thanks, Ben, for the invite, dude. I appreciate it.
Deuces.
Yep.
Word. Peace.
Bye, man.
Later. Later.
Goodbye.
All right, Rich.
What? You want me to
Give us
plug my
a
channel
shout.
again?
Yes, do it again.
Man, you are a slave driver tonight. All right.
Crack that
Oh.
whip.
Check out This Week Unloaded, Sunday nights, 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern start time over on Unloaded Media channel. And that's about it. Oh, check out Kingpin's channel because I know he ain't going to dang well go and self-promote himself because he's too high and mighty above us to do that for himself. So we all got to do it for him.
Right. Kingpin.
Thanks for having
Just
me,
say
man.
ditto.
Good conversation. Everybody have a good night, and see you next time.
All right. Duke.
Hey, man. Thanks for the invite. Great panel as always. Talk to you later, man. Thanks.
All right. Go ahead, Heavy.
If you want, you can go check out my YouTube channel. I haven't put up any videos in a while, but if you like the old stuff, go ahead and go check it out.
Years!
But thanks
I
for
don't know
the
what went over
invite.
me there.
What was that? I didn't catch that.
Nothing. Oh, nothing.
But you feel free to check out my channel, and if you like my videos, make comments, and maybe I'll start making the videos again. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. All right. Those that are patrons of mine and people that do actually watch the videos that I do produce, even though they're not that great, anyways. I got news for you. I got some range video coming out soon. Over the weekend, Cowboy Hillbilly out there in the chat came over and we hung out at PSA, and then we hung out at the Night Strike range. So I got a video of the range time. There,
You guys social
check that out.
distancing.
Yeah, we did the social distancing a little bit.
I'd hate to have to snitch on you.
Yeah, well, you know what? It doesn't matter. It's South Carolina, man.
We can get you across the border somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'll send the video. I'll send the video to CBS. They're good at editing stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. They're good. They're good at editing hammers out of people's hands, right?
Oh, they'll probably just edit it and say, "This week in California."
Oh, well, there you go. Anyways, guys, check out GunTube.org. Check out nightstrike.com. And other than that, we'll see you guys next week. So take it easy. Try not to be infringed. Give them the bird. That's a calf rope.
Aspidanya.
So, what else is there? What else there? So we'll see you on the range.
Catch you on the
always
flip
keep
side.
one loaded in the chamber.
Do
That's it. I've got
Do
it.
it.
I'm out. I'm out. So
Never fear the dark.
how about? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, never fear the dark.
I've come here to chew bubblegum and kick butt, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Yeah,
Sure.
something like
Drive
that.
and we'll see you on down the trail.
Yeah, that stick a fork in her. She's done.